upon the fighters in the path of Allah, strengthening them and encouraging them towards the fight. They drive the enemy away from them as well. So they descend on the believers during jihad and while carrying out righteous deeds, assisting the Muslims and aiding them. The angels surround them, meaning they encircle them. Neither evil nor anyone can touch them, and Allah mentions them in the presence of those near Him. That is, in the highest assembly, Allah will mention them nobly. He will tell the angels about them and boast of them before the angels. This shows the merit of seeking knowledge and the obligation of giving a lot of time and attention to it. So whoever desires this status should devote his time and energy to seeking for knowledge from the people of knowledge in the houses of Allah, the mighty and sublime. The houses of Allah should be maintained by holding learning sessions in them. His saying, he who is drawn back by his deeds, his lineage will not make him go ahead. What matters is good deeds and not lineage. If you are from the noblest of mankind, from Quraysh, from Banu Hashim, the noblest of the children of Adam, but you are not granted the success of performing good deeds, your lineage will not benefit you. Abu Lahab is in the hell, and he was the uncle of the messenger. Bilal was an Ethiopian slave, and he was from among the foremost to embrace Islam. So what really matters is action and not lineage. Whoever relies on his lineage will certainly be drawn back with the disobedient ones. But whoever performs righteous deeds will be in the company of the foremost. Hence, what actually counts is good deed and not lineage. He's saying, he who is drawn back, that is, his deeds receded him from good, his lineage will not make him go ahead. You will never enter paradise just because of lineage, even if you are from the noblest of mankind. You will only enter paradise through action, even if you are the lowest of mankind in lineage, even if you are from among the non-Arabs, because righteous deeds will admit you into paradise. So it is not allowed to boast with lineages and pedigrees, and to think that they are beneficial in the sight of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. Hadith 37. Among what he narrates from his Lord, blessed is he and the Most High, that Allah has written the good deeds and the evil ones. Then he gave an explanation of that. Whoever decides to do a good deed but fails to do it, Allah records it with himself as a perfect good deed. And if he decides it and acts upon it, Allah the Mighty and Sublime records it with himself as 10 good deeds, up to 700 manifolds and up to numerous folds. But if he decides to do an evil deed but does not do it, Allah records it as a perfect good deed. However, if he decides to do and actually does it, Allah records it as a single evil deed. His saying from Allah's Messenger, among what he narrates from his Lord, this is what is called Hadith Qudsi, and it is that which the Prophet narrates from his Lord. He said, verily Allah the Exalted has written the good deeds and the evil ones. Then he gave an explanation of that. That is, he wrote the good and bad deeds in the preserved tablet. He also wrote it for the baby in his mother's womb, as contained in the hadith reported by Ibn Masud. Then he, glorious is he and exalted, explained that in what his prophet reports from him, so actions are divided into two: actions of the heart, which are intentions and aims, and actions of the limbs, which are physical deeds. He's saying, whoever decides, that is, resolves and intends to do a good deed but fails to do it, he was unable to do it, or he got busy away from it. He did not leave it up outrightly, refraining, he only abandoned it due to a distraction. But the intention remained righteous. Allah records it with himself as a perfect good deed. Allah will write it for him as a complete good deed, because this is a heart-related deed which is continuous, and he did not retract from it. He's saying, and if he decides it and acts upon it, Allah the Mighty and Sublime records it with himself as 10 good deeds, up to 700 manifolds, and up to numerous folds. Allah, glorious is He, multiplies the good deeds out of favour and kindness from Him. As He, the Exalted, said, whoever brings a good deed, Islamic monotheism, and good deeds of obedience to Allah and His Messenger, shall have 10 times the like thereof to his credit, and whoever brings an evil deed, polytheism, disbelief, hypocrisy, and deeds of disobedience to Allah and His Messenger, shall have only the recompense of the like thereof. He said in another verse, who is he that will lend to Allah a goodly loan, so that He may multiply it to him many times? He did not specify these multiples, and none knows them except Him. In another verse, He, the Exalted, said, the likeness of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is as the likeness of a grain of corn. It grows 7 ears, and each ear has 100 grains. He multiplies it up to 700 folds. This, and Allah knows best, is according to the intention of the doer, and the strength of his faith, or in accordance with the place and time or condition in which he performed the good deed. So Allah will multiply it for him so specific or unlimited manifolds out of favour and kindness from him. This is in regard to good deeds in the heart or in action. Then he said, but if he decides to do an evil deed but does not do it, Allah records it as a perfect good deed, meaning he intended to commit a sin, but he left it and did not do it out of a fear of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. Allah will write it for him as one good deed for his intention, because intention is an action of the heart, and his refraining from it out of the fear of Allah is another action of the heart.